And you're welcome. In our last lesson, we saw how we could work with physics components by adding a rigid body, which we use to actually animate this object by pressing the spacebar, and we're making this game object jump up. This time around, let's go ahead and work with audio. Now, Unity has components we can attach to work with audio, and audio is very important, especially when you're building games, to add some sort of realism and immersive experience for the user. Now, the audio components are three audio components that Unity has, and let's go ahead and see these three audio components. So first thing I'm going to do is to create a new scene. So let's go to File, Create New Scene, and let's go to File and save our scene. Let's save our scene in scenes, and I'll just call that underscore 12 underscore audio. Right, so that's going to be the name of our scene. Now, the first component is the audio source component, and basically it's the component that you can attach to a game object to make it play sound. Now, it will play back an audio clip when it's triggered by the mixer through code or by default when you kind of like wake that game object up. So let's go ahead and see how we can create that audio source. So I'm going to go right here to my game object and create an empty game object. And just right on this game object, I'm going to add the audio source component. So I'll just click that, and we can just search for audio source. And just like that, we have an audio source component. If we click the drop down on the audio source component, it's actually looking for an audio clip. So you can download any audio you want. It could play a MP3, you could play a WMP, you could play a WAV file, and other files itself. And this is a component within itself as well. And then secondly, we have an audio listener. Now, an audio listener listens to all the audio that's playing within a scene, and it's transferable to the computer speakers. When we go on the main camera, we can actually see we have an audio listener, and by default, Unity only allows one audio listener in your scene. And basically, the audio listener acts like the listening device, and adds like perspective audio for positioning the audio listener. And then finally, we have the audio filters, and the audio filters is an output of an audio source intake of an audio listener, and it can be modified with the help of audio filters. So basically, you have an audio source, and if you want to modify that output of the audio source, you can add the audio filter. So if we go down here and we say audio filter, we can see an echo filter, a distortion filter, a chorus filter. Basically, you can add effects to that game object. So let's go ahead and add a sound to our audio listener, our audio clip from our audio source right here. So to import audio into Unity, you could download any sound file, and once you have that sound file, you can go to your assets folder and then drag that sound file. So for instance, I have a sound clip folder. I could just click on that sound clip folder and drag it into our scene. So with that, we can actually open up that sound clip, and we can actually see what those sound clips are. And by clicking on that sound clip, we can actually see the audio kind of playing. So this is also included in the course, so you can download the sound clip and import it into Unity. So right now, let's go to our game object. And just right here for our audio clip, let's drop down this sound clip and then click on this first sound and just drop it right here. Nice. So what we're also going to do is to actually write a simple script that we can use to have access to the audio clip that is attached to the audio source component. So to do that, let's go ahead and create a C# script right here. So let's go ahead and add component, and let's just call that a new script. And let's just call that our audio script. So now that we've created our audio script, let's just drag our audio script and attach that audio script to our game object, which is our game object right here. And what we can also do is to edit our script. So we'll just click the three drop down arrows and then go to our edit script so we can edit that C# script. And let's go ahead and just reload this. So right now, what we're going to do is to make that audio attached to our game object play when we press a key. Say for instance, when we press the A button on our keyboard, let that audio sound simply play. So first we'll need to get a reference to that audio source. So I'll just do a public audio source, and I'll just call that my sound, just like that. So, and then in our start method, let's go ahead and set the get component for our audio source. So I'll just say my sound equals get component, and it's going to get the audio source component. So now what I'm simply going to do is within my update, I'm going to actually get my run my if statement. So I'm just going to say if input dot get key down, and it's our key code dot a. That's if we're actually pressing the A key. So let's just go ahead and call the my sound dot play method. There we go. Now we can actually use play delayed, which is going to delay after a few seconds, but that's not what I want. So basically what I'm going to do is save my script, and I'll head back to Unity. And right here where it actually shows the audio source right here, it's looking for a game object that has the audio source component. I'm just going to drag this game object and place that game object right here. So let's go ahead and save our scene. And let's go ahead and play our scene. And now we can actually see we heard that on our initial play. So I'm actually pressing the A key. One way you can let's fix two things. The first thing we're going to fix is to get rid of the play on awake, so that when we play our scene, we don't just get that audio playing automatically. Next thing we're also going to do is to do a simple debug.log. So let's do a debug.log. We'll say A key is pressed. So we're just going to get this output each time we press the A key. And let's go ahead and save our scene and jump back to Unity and go ahead and play our scene. So let's jump to play mode. So now we don't hear anything, but when we press A, we can actually hear that sound, and also it tells us that the A key is being pressed, just like that. So we can see that A key is pressed. So that's a very quick and shorthand way you can drag audio into Unity and then use a very simple script to play your sound. Remember, there are other methods from the audio source. We can actually see our pause, play delayed, played one shot, and this will play a clip at a specific absolute time. And we can actually see play delayed, which actually also takes a double time to delay our game object's audio when it's playing. So thank you very much for watching, guys. In our next lesson, we're going to be building a complete platformer game, a basic platformer game rather, and we'll be applying some of these concepts we've learned by using physics and audio. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next lesson.